Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I guess it still is the weekend. Watching the World Cup. We're back at it again, though. Live for the Asian Session Open. 5 more minutes until we get our 7 o'clock candle. If you're just joining us, welcome. Appreciate you guys being here. We've got a lot of charts to go over tonight. There's a lot of stuff going on. Couple gap downs, couple gap ups, but there are some really decent looking charts to go over tonight. Excited to get the week started here. Let's take a look. Give me 1 second here. Count already exists. Alright. Let's get this going for tonight. So we're going to start out with our charts that are actual movers already. FX Star Fleet, what's going on, man? I had a good weekend. Thank you for asking. I hope you had a good weekend too. So GBP AUD, again, kind of in the center right here. Looks like we may get a move toward the upside with the kind of localized support here that's been going on for a little bit. We may get a move up toward this way tonight. We're going to hang on to see what happens. The gap up typically means that we retest these lows. If it rejects it, we should see the move toward the 1.9400 area. That is certainly going to be our target on that chart. I'm glad it was relaxing for you, man. Good. GJ, let's take a look at GJ. GJ gapped down and is currently retesting the previous high of last week's session. Looks like we may get a rejection toward the downside here. However, if it breaks and retests above, we could certainly look to take buys. That would be on GJ. Moving into EJ, which is Euro JPY. Let's make sure our zones are fully set up here. This is on the 1 hour, by the way, guys, just so you can see the gap ups and the gap downs a little more clearly. Looks like we had a gap down where it's rejecting the EMA and this fair value gap. Based off what we're seeing here with this consolidation, it looks like we may have tapped out at a high at 186, and this could be coming back down toward our 185,200 area, our 184,800 area, and then our 184,400 area. So those would be the key levels that we'd be looking at for tonight on this chart. I'm going to mark that as a sell. We do need to see some sort of bearish pressure, but I'm going to mark it as a sell based off this huge consolidation and being unable to break the 186 psychological level right there. That is a very, very important level to keep in mind, that 186 psychological level. Mike 365525, what's up, man? This is Foreign Exchange. We're looking at all the charts right now for the foreign exchange market for Asian Session Open. We're just taking a look at the charts right now. Euro GBP. Euro GBP looks like a nice sell here as well. On the higher time frame, you have a break and retest. So this was your consolidation at the support. That was an ugly S. This is your consolidation at the support. And then this was your rejection at what is now the new resistance. We could see this come down and possibly see these levels. The only thing that I would be wary of on this chart is that on the hour chart, it is an uptrend. You do have higher highs and higher lows moving into this chart right here for today. So we would need to see some sort of major rejection on this area right here, other than what we got right there. I'd like to see a break of these lows and even a break of these lows before we took some sort of sell to finish out the low down here and then look toward where our next zone would be near the 84,200 area. Yeah, these are EMA ribbons, 25 through the 50-day and 5-day increments. Yes. Really, really good tool, especially when they flip and you have a full candle closure above or below, it really does a good job of confirming the trend. So yes, that is exactly what it is. Good eye there. That is 100% what it is. Nice. You can use it for anything. So like my system works on anything. Combining these with a couple other confirmations, it works on everything. But we just got our new hour candle here. So Euro GBP, we're not 100% sure. I'm going to mark that in yellow. Euro AUD, yeah, so you have this kind of floating W pattern down here. This is where we opened. This is where we closed last week. I don't really love this chart because we're not sure if it's going to break out toward this way or we're going to see it come retest this previous resistance that we had tested multiple times last week. We had a break of structure on it last week right there. So this is a very key level to watch out for. The 1.64100 area is going to be absolutely critical. That's going to be a critical level right there that we're going to want to watch out for. Moving on, AUD JPY. So AUD JPY had a gap down to start, as you can see, from market close to market open. We're going to see here if we actually break through this level. The 113,500 area is the level that we're going to be watching on this chart for tonight. Again, not getting in anything yet. We need to see some movement, at least the break or touch point of a certain key level on all of these charts. But for AUD JPY, you're looking at 113,500. AUD NZD, don't like this chart at all. Nothing really to analyze here. Even on the higher time frame, nothing to look at. It could possibly come down to this lower zone from earlier in the month. Not a fan of it though. Not a fan of this chart. GU. So GU opened kind of sporadically here. It opened with a... Well, let me start by saying it's on a downtrend. However, we've reached a key point where it was a resistance right here, and now it's being used as a support. This key level right here, which is like pretty much that 134,400 to 450 area. That's level right there was the resistance in the past. It is now the support here. However, we are on a downtrend, as you can see, lower highs, lower lows. This is a downtrend, but we are at an impasse. We're going to need to see if we break this area. If we don't break this area, we could look to take buys back up toward the upside, the 1.35200 area. If we do break below this area, we can look to take sells toward the 1.33200 area right here. So it's going to be kind of a toss-up on that one. We don't have enough information, so it's not a trade we'd really get in yet, but I will mark it in yellow, so we do keep our eye on it. NZD USD probably will not touch this chart. It's at a high that we haven't seen since... We saw it on June 15th, actually. I take that back. It hasn't broken above this price since June 5th, and previously before that, it was hovering above this price. Looks like we have two key areas here and here, where it has broken way below down here. We've been hanging out kind of in the lower zone right here. We need to see if we're going to push back up into this higher zone, which would be breaking the breaking the 58600 area. We would need to definitely break that in order to continue looking at this chart. Not something that I'm seeing at this point, but we will keep our eye on this NZD USD chart as well. GBP NZD, let's take a look here. Looks like a nice break and retest toward the downside. Your break of structure was right here. You guys know this is my favorite setup that there is. Our BOS was right there. It came up and retested the zone right here where it rejected it. And if it breaks below the 2.3000, which is a major psychological level, we could look to see the 2.29 and even 2.285. So those are going to be the levels that we'll be looking at here to possibly take sells to the downside. but this overall is looking like a sell. And I'm going to go ahead and mark that as a sell. In terms of news tonight, guys, I don't believe we have anything crazy. It's a bank holiday in Japan, so keep in mind volume may be a tad bit lower on the Japanese pairs, but it is a bank holiday in Japan. And then tomorrow we've got Canadian news at 8:30 in the morning, NZD news, red folder news at 6:45 p.m. tomorrow. So really nothing to worry about if we did hold till tomorrow, unless it was a Canadian pair. Even then, we wouldn't really want to hold all the way into pre-market, pre-New York market session. We would not want to hold that long. AUD USD. Not really a fan of that chart at all, to be quite honest with you. I'm not even going to touch it. GBP CAD, not going to touch it. USD JPY. So here's what I think of USD JPY. We reached a high, a 13-14 month high last week and the prior week. Here's what I think about this. If we reject this zone, essentially, if we continue to reject the 162,800 area, I think we see a drive back down. But in the past couple sessions, we have not seen much movement on this chart. If you want to map it out here, let's see, today is the 19th. So let's look at the 15th on. The 15th on, you've maybe seen a total of 60 pips total movement, up or down. 60 pips is not really a lot when you're talking multiple sessions. 70 pips even. So it's not probably anything that we're going to look at. As you can see, the session highs and lows are really tight. Really tight. Which means that we did open above all of the sessions from last week, and you do have somewhat of a bull flag here. This could be considered a bull flag. I'd want to see it break and retest before we took the buys. But if you were looking at it from a technical standpoint, it does look like it is bullish, in my opinion. All right. We'll take a look at that chart again. We'll come back to that. USD CHF looks really nice for a buy. It's my favorite chart of the night. 4 hour looks good for a buy. 1 day looks good for a buy at the EMA ribbon here. We could possibly take buys on USD CHF pretty early into this session. 15 minute looks solid. In terms of the technicals, you're a buy on all time frames. Even the day is a pretty strong buy here. So we're going to mark USD CHF as our strongest looking trade for tonight. I would like to see it break that fair value gap. But again, going back to the 4 hour time frame, that's a nice gap up to start. And on the 1 hour, it also gapped up and stayed up. That's the first one that we've seen gap up and stay up.
$25,000 FT.
Sorry, guys. All right. Anyway, as I was saying, USD CHF I like the most. And Euro USD I really like as a sell. Euro CHF, not touching that. Euro CAD. Boy, EuroCAD may come down to a zone that it has not broken since May 24th. If this comes down to the next lower zone here, we could see potentially 69 to 106 pips out of this. Oh, Corey, nice, man. Nice to meet you. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, man, it's always available, and like I said, I stream all the time for you guys, so appreciate the kind words there, Corey. Thank you, man. Not touching AUD CHF. Euro NZD I'm not touching. Let me go back to that real quick. The rest of these charts are not going to have a lot of volume. This is the bottom of the barrel charts for this session. So we've got a couple charts marked up here. Let's go through them again. So again, this is the process that I use every single day, guys. I will look at the charts that have the best volume, and then I will pick 5 or 6 of them that I think have the best setups, the most A+ looking setup to fit my strategy, and I'll narrow it down from there as time goes on based off what the market's doing until we have one chart that looks the best. That is the way you need to do it over and over again, and if you don't have one chart that looks the best that meets all 4 confirmations of my system, I don't take the trade for that day. What's up, David? How you doing, man? Hope you had a good weekend. Wow. So, let's keep going here. Yeah, sometimes asset protection is important. Capital protection is important. And a lot of people get that wrong. They want to trade. They want to get into a trade so bad. And sometimes it's just not worth it. But we're keeping an eye on a couple charts here for sure. We're only 15 minutes into the 7 o'clock hour. Euro GBP and GBP USD we marked as we did not know. Nice. Where'd you go on vacation there, David? Back to the grind. I feel you. So, Euro JPY, I personally think it's coming down. And I know this is what could be considered a bull flag here, guys. That was a crooked flag. This could be considered a bull flag, but with this break below right here, I actually see this coming down. This consolidation for so long between the 185,600 and the 186 number leads me to believe that we're struggling to break this right here, and we're going to end up moving toward the downside. The technicals on TradingView have it as some of it as a sell, but on the higher time frames as a buy, which is why I wouldn't necessarily take this. Oh, nice. I love St. Augustine. It's a nice area. Oh, I remember you telling me you were up there. Yeah, you were talking about that last week. So we're going to hold off on that one for right now. Looks like we had a trend line coming through this. GBP NZD. Let's look at it on the higher time frame here. Higher time frame, again, like I said, the break and the retest here is almost textbook. Retest of the EMA ribbon, retest of the key zone, retest of the fair value gap. It is. We had our 3 retests on the exact point that we were looking at. We would want to see it come down here, and our TP1 would be right here, our TP2 would be right here. You could put a TP3 right here, and then your fourth would be the bottom. So you'd be looking at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those would be what you'd be looking at for targets. However, again, not really sold on it yet. It's too early into the session for me to say definitely that's a chart that I'd be willing to look at opening a position on. But yep, that's where we're at on that one. Euro USD, I think Euro USD is coming down almost regardless. Euro USD is typically one of my favorite stocks, or I should say currencies, pairs to short. Reason being, the dollar's been going up recently. So Euro to the US dollar, it's almost a no-brainer. It's been on a downtrend for some time. Kermit, what's up, man? How are you? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Did you have a good weekend? Hope you had a good weekend. Pull up Euro USD on the broker here. I really like that chart, especially with the dollar moving up. Especially with the dollar moving up. I like that chart. I'm good, man. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. All good over here. Everything is good over here. Just grinding away, you know? Hey, Diego, congratulations. Good Spain win. World Cup champions. Congrats there, Diego. Good to see you, though. I think if we look at this on the 15-minute, yeah, Euro USD on the 15-minute, we can see here that it tried to retest the, excuse me. It tried to retest market open from last week, and it did not. I'm sure everything's crazy over there right now, Diego. Parties in the streets, I would imagine. Let's see here. If we break this low, I'd be willing to take Euro USD sells tonight. I just want to see it break this low. So, right there. Oh, I'm sure, man. So we're watching for break of the lows to take sells. We could get in this now, but to be more cautious, for it to be an A plus setup, it's an A setup right now. For it to be an A plus setup, I'd want to see it, boom, do that. Break and go. Corey, how do you withdraw into your account? How do you put money into your account on Hanko Trade? Everything's Bitcoin. So from your Bitcoin address, wherever you hold your cryptocurrency or buy it, you can do it on Cash App, Coinbase. Buy it there. Just transfer it straight in using your address for your live account. It's that easy. Takes less than 20 minutes for it to go through. Most of the time it's 5-10 minutes, but sometimes it's quicker. Or sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Worst case scenario on this, if we were to hold drawdown, because you always want to think about that. You want to think about how much drawdown would you hold. The most I'd hold is 20 pips on this. We'd have a relatively small stop loss here, guys. It would be an extremely small stop loss. This is what we'd be looking at. Any higher than... Let me take a look here. Yeah, any higher than this... Yeah, you could go top of the zone, really. Any higher than this, I'd be out. So... Yeah, it's really easy. This is my number one chart right here, guys. And it's not even close. That USD CHF one looked good too, but if we know the dollar is rising, we could always short the euro. And there's more room to short the euro. Let me explain why. So on USD JPY, there really isn't much room to the top, right? 25 pips, maybe 36 pips to the top of where our psychological level is. On Euro USD, we've been down here before previously. We were down here only Wednesday the 24th of June. So like we were down here recently. We were all the way down here just last week on the 13th. I think sells toward the downside give us a much better chance of going for 40 pips to possibly 92, 93 pips. That is what I like the most on that chart. And you guys know I love a break and retest to the downside. It is the most profitable trading setup for me. Break and retest to the downside every time. So I'm going to mark this chart up. We're not getting in just yet, but I'm going to mark it up. 14474. And again, our take profits are going to be a couple different levels here. You're going to have one there. How many pips is that? 14. Yeah, I'm good with that. 14 here. Probably go down there. And then if we're lucky, down there. But that's not really... That would be more of like a weekly goal. This is what we'd be looking at. Emmanuel, how you doing, man? What do I think about GBP USD? Sure, we'll take a look at that. We did just go over that one, but I'll pull it back up for you. Where'd it go? There it is. So GBP USD is on a downtrend, right? We do have lower highs, lower lows. So it is on a downtrend. However, your key level to focus on here is going to be right through here. So that's going to be your key level. If I were to draw it out, this is where it was a resistance and it's now a support. I'd put that right about there. We'd need to either see it reject that zone and move back toward the upside, or we want to see it break and retest of the zone and move toward the downside. So I don't have an answer for you yet because I wouldn't take that chart yet. We don't know what it's going to do from here. It certainly looks like it's breaking out downward, but we don't have a good enough idea yet. There's not enough information on this chart. Does that make sense there, Emmanuel? I personally wouldn't touch that chart for right now. If we do get this rejection, and this truly is a break and retest right here, we drive through this zone, maybe get a retest right here, we could see it move down, and you'd have your targets here, 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 and then the bottom. So 13390, 13360, 13340 would be targets. But again, not enough information on this chart yet. I like Euro USD the best. I think that's the one I'm going to be watching the closest, especially if USD JPY continues to move toward the upside, USD CHF continues to move toward the upside. All these USD primary pairs continue to move toward the upside. We're going to look to sell off Euro USD. That would be my move there. That would be the move. It's 7:25, so we're about to get a new 15-minute candle, so we'll see what happens here in the next 5 minutes. Aloha, what's up, man? How are you? Welcome back. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend, brother. A lot of good looking charts tonight. I think we could probably get rid of AUD JPY. I'm going to get rid of that one. Euro GBP, I really don't want to touch it. GBP USD I'm getting rid of. So we're back to just a couple charts. Yeah, so I use TradingView to mark up my charts. So what you're seeing right here is TradingView. I use TradingView to mark my charts up, and then I use Hanko Trade to actually execute them. That's the broker that I execute through. Does that make sense? If you guys haven't already, make sure you like the stream, subscribe. I appreciate it. I just don't expect a lot off $100. So you're going to use like 0.01, 0.02, 0.03 as a lot size. You're going to be making $4 or $5 here and there. Because you have to be realistic with your risk management. I wouldn't suggest just full porting your $100 if that's all you have to trade with. I'd recommend trying to get up to 500, and then you can really work on getting you up some capital there and being a little bit aggressive. But $100, you can still do it. Just keep in mind it's going to be a slow and steady climb. 10, 12 pips, 20 pips is really only going to get you, like I said, $5, $6. Nothing crazy. Andrew. Oh boy, you're funny, man. It just depends. Like, for instance, last week we did what, 54 pips, 57 pips? If your pip value was like $5, we can do the math, and you kept your lot size the same, again, if you kept your lot size the same, there's a lot of ifs involved in that, Aloha. But if your pip value is $5 and we went for 54 pips last week, you're looking at $270. So, and that's assuming that you are emotionally in tune with your trading, so you're not going to over leverage when you do well. You're not going to over leverage and try and revenge trade. You know, there's a lot of different things that go into that question. That is a loaded question, but that's your rough estimate right there. Is going to be 270. We're up 54 pips, 57 pips, whatever it was last week. It's an anomaly. Do you kill me, Andrew? Right now, GBP NZD and Euro USD are the only two that are actually looking like they are breaking toward the downside. And we'd want to see, I'll put the line here for GBP NZD of where we'd want to see it break. But that's what we'd be looking to see. And then for our take profits, probably want to go there. Fuck it, we'll just go here. How many pips is that? That is way more pips than I thought it was. Whoa. What am I doing? Really 100 pips? How far is this? That's 30 pips alone to the break spot. I haven't made a trade yet. You can certainly get started. I'm sure you have the link where you get the 100% deposit match bonus. I'd use that link. It's all right, Adele. You'll recover. At least you've seen your team win a World Cup. It's more than most can say, you know? All right, let's check our new 15-minute candle here. You make money as long as you're in profit. As long as the chart moves in profit, you'll make money regardless of your lot size. You'll make money. It might not be a lot of money, but you'll make money. As long as the chart goes into this green area where we have it charted out to go, then you will make money. But if it goes into the red area, you're going to lose money, which is why risk management's important. But this would be a really, really nice trade right here. This would be like almost a 1 to 3. Tight stop loss right above the fair value gaps, giving it a little bit of room to breathe. I don't even think you'd need to go that high. You could even go lower. You could go like, if you wanted to really have like little risk, you could go 10 to 17 pips. I put this one right at 22 pips would be our stop loss. But again, we want to see it break low, not come up and retest the CMA again. No, any amount it goes into the green at all is going to be in profit for you. New 15-minute candle looks like it's moving down. I don't like this green wick on the 15. The 5 looks like it's moving down. It's rejected the EMA ribbon and it looks to be bearish. Again, I just want to see it break this zone. If it breaks this zone, let's pull up the previous sessions as well. Yeah, it opened below London session and came up and rejected last week's London session low. So we opened below and it looks like we're staying below. So that's important to note because now that we know that, we can see if we're going to retest London, which we did. As you can see, we retested last week's London right here. We opened way down here, retested London. Now we're looking to break this. If we break this, we're going short on this thing. But we're not really that long into market session open, so we're going to wait a little bit to see what happens. At least we're not off to as slow of start as we were last week in terms of these charts moving. We've got some decent looking ones. Again, GBP NZD, I'd want to see it break the low of London close from last week. That would give me a much better feeling that this is not just going to come down and retest it and go back up. Euro GBP looks like it came back up in after testing London low. USD CHF is on its way to test Asian session high from last week. USD JPY has opened its new candle above all the ranges, indicating that we will see this move toward the upside here, which is good for our Euro USD sell. And then Euro JPY is still in this consolidation period in between all of these zones right here. All of those zones, it's right in between them. We don't really want to trade that. That's a low probability trade. The higher time frame here. Again, that's the only thing that I don't like, is that the higher time frame was showing an uptrend. So if you take this trend line and go this way, but it kind of broke it right there. And if that's the true trend line, anywhere between here and here, we should still see this come down and retest TP1 before going back up this way. ECN blue is what you select. ECN blue there, Aloha. I need to open up my I'll do it over here. So GBP NZD and Euro USD, guys. You could look at USD CHF. Let's wait till the new hour. We'll wait till the new hour to see if we'd get in that as a long. If we did, though, you'd have some pretty high marks there. 10 pip, not really, actually. Yeah, that's what you'd be looking at. 10 pips to 28 pips to 43 pips to 50 pips to the top is what you'd be looking at. But like I said, we're going to wait because we don't want to see it come up and retest this EMA right here. It may happen, and if so, we can get in at a better price to drive down. But if it invalidates our trade by breaking both fair value gaps and coming above structure here, it would invalidate it and it would be long. Let me grab my MacBook charger real quick, guys. All hustle, no cap. What's going on? How are you? How you doing, man? I'm doing good. It was good, man. Now I'm permanently on one, though. I don't work anymore. I just do this. So, thank you for asking. See that rejection there? We may come up and retest on the 15-minute again. It's testing on the 5 right now. So we'll get a little bit of information here. We're 1 minute away from a new 15-minute candle as well. So that's important to note. Here's a new 5-minute and a new 15-minute candle. I think at worst we see it retest this EMA. At best, it doesn't even at all, and it just retests this fair value and comes down. If you're just joining, guys, welcome. Appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. I'll be live tomorrow morning. I'll be live tomorrow night. New York and Asian session. From Detroit, but live in Alabama. Boy, that's quite the change, huh? That's a big change right there. Yeah, it funds it with crypto, but you trade it with dollars. Correct. I'd really like to see price reject going into the 8 o'clock hour. Let's see on this this new 15-minute candle. Did we get some good rejection? We did. So now we just want to see it break the lows. Look at some of the lower time frames and see what we got going on. It had a what from the key area? And Brent oil hit $90 a barrel, so that only means the dollar's going up. I think it's going to be a good sell, but like I said earlier, it's an A setup right now. Change in state of delivery. Change of character, change in state of delivery. Break of structure. Gotcha, yeah. It's funny how many different ways there are to say the same thing. But we'll see. Like I said, on the hour, it still may come up and retrace this wick and retest this EMA before coming back down. That's what bothers. And again, I told you guys a long time ago that I don't talk badly about other traders, but that is what bothered me about the ICT stuff. Is that, yeah, order blocks, supply and demand, support and resistance. The ICT stuff was so overly complicated for no reason. For no reason. Like creating a new language just to be able to teach people that new language. Like, just stick with what we got. Stick with what we got, guys. No reason to do that. I'm glad someone agrees with me because I know a lot of people like that guy. What happened to him? Does he still stream on Twitter or X? I listened to quite literally one of his streams and wanted to just bang my head against the table. It's like, never again. Smart guy, don't get me wrong, but way to overcomplicate it. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly good concepts, but again, they're so convoluted and renamed that it's like, do you even know what it is? Correct, yeah. Exactly. You're not wrong there. GBP NZD's doing its thing to come down. Can't even believe it's got 32 pips to where we want it to break to. USD CHF coming back down. USD JPY is moving back up. And Euro JPY is kind of just hanging out. I think it's priming itself for a pretty big drop off, though. You're not alone. Give me one sec, guys. Drink too much water. Looks like we got some rejection there. I'm liking what I'm seeing. We got 4 minutes left in this hour, so we'll get a new hour candle here, see if this thing's going to continue up or we're going to drive back down. But you essentially got two hammer candles, one going this way and one going this way right now. As you can see, this previous hour candle and this new hour candle, and then we'll get a new one right here that'll show us hopefully that it's going down. And GBP NZD, if we keep moving down on this one, we may end up taking this trade instead. Like I said earlier on Euro GBP, I think that this was a massive break and retest right here. That's been going on for a week or two, and this is moving toward this way. When you break the chart down like this, it's a lot easier to read too, and I know a lot of people don't do this. But when you break the chart down as here's a section of consolidation, here's your break of structure, here's a section of consolidation, we next want it to come down to here and consolidate. So our move would be in between these two right here, right? So consolidation 1, consolidation 2, we want it to consolidate for 3 down here, but we're trying to make the move from there to there. We want to make money off that move right there. Hanko trade is unregulated. That's why people like me in the United States can trade at 1 to 500 on it. I've never had an issue with them personally. I think they're the best broker out there for US traders. I've been with them for a couple years on and off now, but ever since they created their new the ACT Trader app and their new web trader, they are by far the best. If you're outside the US, you can use MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5. But this web trader's solid. It's about as solid as they come. IMO. And Aloha, if you want to track your Bitcoin, how it's moving through the blockchain to get from your address to your trading, you can on mempool.space, which is cool. You can see how many confirmations out of 3 has it already hit. But looks like we got our new hour candle here, guys. Adam Cross, what's going on, man? How are you? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Had a good weekend. I just had a call with a guy from Australia today. He's joining today. Older guy in his 60s. Let's see here. New hour candles. What was that noise? Did you guys hear that too? What was that noise? I can't be the only one that heard that. I thought that was YouTube or something. Been good, man. Thanks for asking. Yeah, 10 a.m. over there on the following day, right? Been good, man. Just doing this full time, you know? Thanks for asking. See if this new hour brings us some good movement. I have no idea. I heard it on my end too, though. I thought it was like someone super chatting or something. I have no idea. Yeah, yeah, lots of time. That's why I do this. Me too, but I'm getting in shape, you know, going to the gym every day. Feels good. Feels good, that's for sure. Confirmed balance. That's what it was then. Yep, that is what it was. GG easy, or is that GG's? Who knows? This is why we wait, though, guys. If we would have entered right when it broke right there, would have been holding some drawdown. We try to avoid that. That's why you wait. Yeah, that's where I live. That's where I live that has all that. Yeah, the cold plunge, the sauna, the steam room, it's nice, man. It's nice having it just right here. It's a game changer, that's for sure. It's not as expensive as you think. It's not cheap, but it's not that expensive either. Everything's relative, you know? Everything's relative. If Euro USD keeps moving up, we may end up looking at GBP NZD. GBP USD was one that we were GBP USD. Let's take a look. GBP USD is gonna go up. At the golf course? No. Done. Streaming New York and Asian session now. Ain't no more of that. Redid the website. Automated pretty much my entire everything. So, yeah, no, it's exciting. Worked a lot on automation over the past week. Streamer University, I would never go on that shit, to be honest with you, man. No. A, I'm not big enough, and B, I have no desire. I don't know why those guys ride him so hard. They love him for no reason. Like, it's kind of weird, in my opinion, how much those guys love him. This thing's going down. Let's make some take profit zones for this. Because if we were looking to get in one here, we're looking at, wow, 28 pips to the bottom here. 70 pips, 100 pips. Wow, this... What did it move to open? That's to open, it went for 32 pips. So, that explains a lot. But I like this chart a lot better than I like the Euro USD one right now, because this one's starting to move up to retest. GBP NZD is looking a lot more promising. Mr. Pigs, how you doing, man? I'm doing all right. Thanks for joining. What an odd chart. I know everybody wants to get in a trade right now, but none of these charts are ready yet. None of these charts are ready yet. GBP AUD, we'll take a look at it together. So GBP AUD. So on the 4-hour chart, it is in between. Let's just mark this up together. So here's your resistance, here's your support. We have consolidated right here for a long time actually, for 3 days and 8 hours. It's consolidated right there. So 3 days and 7 hours. Now, does it look bearish? 100%. Yes. It opened up here and is moving down. If it were to break this, David, if it were to break right there, I would say yes, it's a sell. But I want to see it break that first, not just come here, test, and go back up. So if we can get some sort of break of this zone, or a break and a retest of this zone to show us that it's moving down that way, I would say yes on a sell there. You got the right idea on the chart, though. It's definitely bearish looking, especially on the 4 hour. If the 4 hour closes like this, that's going to be nice. Yeah, that's what we're waiting on for that chart. The technicals on it are mostly sells as well. Strong sells on some of them. What does the day look like? The other thing to consider is what the day chart looks like. The day has rejected this area for 21 days. So this thing looks like it's coming down. And if it were to, you could expect roughly 57 pips to the EMA ribbon. If it goes into the EMA ribbon and down to the next key level, you're looking at 111. 111 pips. So from there to there. But if you get a big red one down to here, down to the 1.91400 area, you're looking at 100 plus pips. Which is not bad at all. Let's see, Mr. Pigs. Hanko's not regulated. That's why it lets U.S. traders trade at 1 to 500. It is unregulated, but I've been using them for years and had zero issues. Matter of fact, I've got a whole team if I need. Faves right now, we're waiting to see if Euro USD rejects and comes back into zone here. And then I'd say GBP NZD's probably got to be number one right now. For 20 to 60 to 100 pips. Even more possibly, but minimally for 27 pips. Minimally. That's what I'm looking at. The 4 hour candle's weird as heck. It opened with a straight selling pressure. Yeah, it's a big red one. And the break and retest, I mean, the 4 hour has tried to break this area, and it just couldn't. So it looks like we're coming back down this way. Again, I'd rather take this trade, this Euro USD trade, but if it doesn't give it to us and the structure's not there, we're not taking it. You're at the EMA right now, so if we reject this, I mean, this could be a fantastic place to sell, assuming that it's going to run down, but we don't know for sure. It typically retests market close from last week almost every Sunday, you know? Same with GBP AUD. Both GBP pairs are selling. And Euro GBP is clearly buying here, so that would make sense with GBP being the primary before and the secondary now. USD CHF rejected this bull flag. I mean, this is a bull flag if I've ever seen one. It did not come up and break and retest and go. Not yet, at least. You might get that in London. NZD USD. Let's take a look. Possible buy here. Bull flag as well. The only thing, let's see here. Yeah, we actually talked about this one earlier. So, again, this is your kind of zone that you're watching out for. Like, is it going to reject this and come back down to this zone? Or are we going to drive through this and move up toward the higher zone? Kind of difficult to say. Possibly could be a reverse head and shoulders on it here, where it comes back to retest and then goes. Because there would be your shoulder, there'd be your shoulder, there'll be your head. It's too early to tell on that chart there, David. But it is moving in a bullish manner, and it is a bull flag, to say the least. I mean, you got your bull flag right there. You got those pattern recognitions down. It's just waiting for the confirmation so you don't get burned. You know what I mean? Oh, that's what that noise was. Aloha sent GG's for 20 joules. That's what that noise was earlier. Good. Glad to have you back. It's a difficult thing, man, but once you get it, it provides a certain freedom that really nothing else does. You know? I think we're all after that same thing. Took me a long time to get here, but we're here. But yeah, I don't like that chart. I'm still banking on Euro JPY coming down too. There's a lot of really good looking charts. I think it's just going to take a little longer for us to get into it. Yeah, because this thing sucked back up. GBP AUD, got to break that zone. Euro GBP, start getting some rejection there. That would be nice. Euro GBP, if we were to look for this bad boy to come down, be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'd be going short from here, so your stop loss would be super tight. I mean, if it comes up here 15.5 pips, if that, and this could come all the way down to here. I'm thinking, though, on a larger scale, kind of tough to say that, you know. And this thing ain't coming down. Hasn't been this low since June 11th. Certainly possible, but it looks like you might have found a bottom here where this thing might start to come back up and retest the EMA ribbon. I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. Not as big of a fan of that chart. It's a big old wick on the 4 hour there. You're watching USD JPY. Yeah, I just don't like the psychological level that it's at. Like, this was a 13, 14 month high. Like, there's some room to buy it for sure. But I don't want to buy it up for 30 pips just to watch it come down for 80 plus. The problem with USD JPY is it's so heavily reliant on Brent oil as a whole. Oh, sells, yeah. Oh, for sure. But the problem is oil, though. Like this tells you right here. 42 minutes ago, dollar firms as U.S.-Iran conflict intensifies. Brent oil hits $90 a barrel. As long as oil stays up there and that price stays up there and we have problems over in the Middle East, this is going to stay high. There's just not a lot of room for movement, in my opinion. So if you look at the day chart, right? Let's just look at the past 7 days, right? So there's 7 days. The total movement in 7 days was between 60 and 70 pips. That's not really good. That 60 and 70 pips is what you want like per session. So for a whole week to only see 60 to 70 pips, maybe 80 pips, that's where I see too much consolidation. But I do see where you're saying for sells just because of the psychological level at that 163. Be great to catch it up here and sell it back down to a normal level. Catch it up here, sell it back down to the 160. I mean, you'd make a lot of money on that move right there. Yeah, you know. I don't need to tell you. I like the idea because I don't think we're breaking this. If we break this, we got problems. We got problems if we break that. And I'm not talking about problems on the chart. We got problems elsewhere. All right, our 15-minute here. Yeah, we're going to have a major gas problem. Petrol, oil, gas. Price of gas problem, that is. $2. It cost me 91 bucks to fill up the other day. 91 US dollars to fill up the other day. AUDCHF, David? Let's take a look. Nice little breakthrough there. AUDCHF on the up and up. Yeah, I would just keep in mind of this level. Kivy, what's going on, man? Kivy, how you doing? Yeah, I just bought a gas guzzler, so I am the opposite. David, on this one, 25 pips max, unless you're expecting it to break a 83-day high. That'd be an 83-day high that it breaks. And the last time we were there before that was 510 days ago, February of 2025. So we need a pretty strong catalyst to have AUD-CHF break above this zone up here. Oh, opposite. Nice. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yep. Yeah, again. Yeah, let it get up to here and then sell it off. Just like it did there. Once it gets there, sell it off back down to here into this zone, which you'd be looking at, let's just roughly estimate 30-40 pips. Yeah, that'd be a good trade. Yeah, good eye there. Curious. So 3 liters is equivalent to 1 gallon. 3.7 actually. Nice rejection on Euro USD there. 3.7 liters. So you pay $2. So 246. Yeah, you're paying $6 a 246. So $6 for 1 gallon. Yeah, you're a little bit more expensive than we are actually. I think we're at like $4, $3.50. Huh. That's where you live? Out in the middle of nowhere. That's a good 15-minute candle if we can get that thing to stick. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. It definitely is. That's what I'm thinking too, Aloha. Like I said, that 1 hour. Need to see if it's going to touch this and reject. GBP NZD hasn't really moved. GBP AUD hasn't moved. USD CHF ended up coming back down, and USD JPY just took a sharp turn toward the downside. So not a lot of movers in the market at the moment, even with some pretty good volume. I think Euro JPY is going to reject for sure. It's just a matter of time. I mean, look how many times it's rejected this area, guys. So just looking at this from a far back. this general zone, and we're going to draw the zone out a little because the zone's not just one spot. This general zone right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times over the period of 51 days. Over a 51-day period, it has rejected this key level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. That's a strong That's a strong resistance point right there. It's a really strong resistance point right there. And the day is bearish. I think it's coming down. TJ, what's up, man? How are you? What's going on, TJ? Oh, TJ, you on that Fortnite game, huh? You collecting sprites? Boy, do I like that chart more and more now that I look at it. That Euro JPY sell. I think you can sell this down to here. Next level is going to be here. Following level is going to be right here. And you got one more right there. That would be what it would look like for us there. If we were to short this, again, 33 pips at most as the stop loss. Not quite as good as a risk to reward ratio. Still a 1 to 2. Bless you. Still a 1 to 2 RR. Would just, again, need to see this kind of break. But very solid looking chart when you zoom out and look at all these resistance points that it's projected over a long period of time. Makes you really relook at the chart and say, oh, this could be good. See what we get here. Your GBP AUD trade's looking decent, David. Just want to see it break those lows. Nice. I play it with my girlfriend. It's fun. She's grinding sprites right now next to me over here.
What was that one? Taylor, go left.
Good to see you, TJ, though. Thanks for joining, man. Oh, there's our move. That's the move. All right. I think new favorite incoming here, guys. I think Euro JPY. Euro JPY might be the new... see this day chart. Yeah, this thing's coming down. Look at that rejection. If we get bearish engulfing on this hour, we'll know in the next 20 minutes. If we get bearish engulfing on this next hour, Euro JPY is the play. How many pips is that to 1? It already flipped on the 1 hour. I think we might have found a gem here right at the top. Nice, man. Well, it's good to have you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. Nice. Well, good to have you, TJ. Make sure you subscribe. You'll get notifications. I'll go live twice a day for most days. We'll be going live tomorrow morning for New York session open, Monday morning open, and then tomorrow night for Asian session again. Yeah, it's a real... On which chart there? Euro JPY? Yeah. Yeah, so like, this is what I was saying on Euro USD. I wanted to see it come up and retest on the hour and then come back down. Euro JPY already did it. Came up, retested, and rejected on the hour. Nice, man. That's the way to do it. Sounds like you got the right plan already. About to get a new 15-minute, though, here. I'm worried about that fair value gap. If we can break through that, that'd be a really nice sign. On AUDJPY. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that thing could make a huge wick and come back down on that day chart there. Could come, it's way overbought. Way overbought. Good rejection, though, on the 1 hour as well. yeah, good 15-minute rejection for sure. Back down to market opens 30 pips. Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Appreciate it, TJ. Nice. Gains are taxed regardless, man. You just got to be smart about it. It's a really gray area with crypto when you withdraw with crypto. It's still very new to the government. All I'll say is as long as you're smart about it, there's ways of making sure that you minimize your taxes. Hey, at least the content's pumping then. You found me from there? Tell you what, that's the hardest part. Filming all the time. Luckily, I have a really good editor, but just curious. Only 7. It's a nice 15-minute candle coming in here. Jump in AUDJPY. Go for it. I'd at least wait to see what that new 4-hour candle does there, David. To make sure it doesn't open and go this way. But it's a good looking trade, man. Because you got 13 minutes till you have a new 4-hour candle. It's a good looking chart, though. You can see it coming down for 50 pips to this next zone. Trying to be like me? Yeah. I appreciate that. Pull up Euro JPY. Yeah, I'm really liking this Euro JPY chart. I'm really liking it. Really liking it. We're gonna give it the respect of waiting for the new 4-hour candle. We've waited this long. 2 hours into the stream, we've waited this long. We might as well give it the respect of waiting the extra couple minutes. Plus, I don't enter trades with this amount of time left. Yeah, that's for sure, David. It is. Closes red, it'd be even better. Thanks, TJ. I appreciate it, man. It's honestly just see a tax person, but I just withdraw profits into an LLC. That's all. That's what I'll say. I'm not a tax expert, but withdraw into an LLC. Well, you guys know I stream live. If you're looking for one-on-one stuff, just go to matthampsonfx.com. There's plenty of one-on-one options. I do a 15-minute free consultation. Here, I'll send it to you guys. You can book a free consultation to go over your goals. It's the way to do it. He said, I'd be your Ninja Turtle. You could be my Master Splinter. You guys are wild. That one made me laugh. We got 9 minutes. We should see some movement here too. We should see some good movement. Let me get this set up in case we take it. What am I doing? Just do it right here. Nice movement there. Great movement on Euro JPY. Let's make sure I get this right. $186,033. TP1 would be 185,482. TP2 would be 185,367. TP3 would be 185,209. And then we'd have to add it's not what to do. And this is why I use my MacBook. You know, PC wonders why it's inferior. Yeah, man, go for it. I do them all day. All day I do consultations. Then if it's the right fit, it's the right fit. Let's just make sure none of our other charts did what we wanted. It did the exact opposite. GBP NZD did the exact opposite. GBP AUD moving in the opposite direction. Euro GBP moving in the opposite. USD JPY moving in the opposite. So everything's moving in the opposite right now. Euro JPY is the #1 chart. And it's not even close. We got 4 minutes. You know what? We could drop that stop loss down. Just make it 30 pips, 185,900. If we were to do it. 185,900 is more palatable in my opinion. I think that's a little bit tighter of a stop. I'm liking this. Four-hour. My only worry on the 4 is that it comes up and retraces this wick. I just don't think so. We know we're going to get some wick retracement no matter what, right? Happens every time. We always get wick retracement. So the thing is, how much wick retracement are we going to get on this? Let's look at the... Are we going to get wick retracement up to Asian low, or are we just going to go straight down? It's very rare that you see it go straight down. Anytime there's wick like that, you get wick retracement back up. It may not be a ton, unless this thing flips red. We're going to make it Asian session high as the 185,954, 35 pips. Realistically, too, on the day, this thing could come down to there, but that's a stretch. It's a stretch. One hour is a big old bearish engulfing there. We got 1 more minute, guys. One more minute on this candle. Alright, so there's our new 4-hour candle. Like I said, we're going to see a wick up. We know we're going to see it wick up to some point. The question is where? How far are we going to wick up here? if at all. 8 pips possibly. Let's get in this. How much is this to TP1? 11, 12 pips to TP1. Yep, agreed. And your AUDJPY as well. Yep. USDJPY just took a nosedive. Euro USD ended up climbing because of that. GBP NZD did not do anything we wanted. Yeah, I think we're on the right track here, guys. I think Euro JPY is the move. Again, I just want to get in at the best price. So I'm not going to get in until I know that this wick has come up and created and showed its head. Five, 9, 5, 4. Alright, I've seen enough. Check that 4 hour. Alright, I'm sending this. Sending this out, guys. And then that stop was 185,954. And the all right, boys, we're in it. So make sure we're gonna mark your chart up here. So make sure you add your alerts. So I add alerts on TradingView. So you've got TP1. Put an alert. That way you don't have to stare at the chart or stare at your phone. You'll know when it hits it. And then just rename it. TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, and then stop loss. Rename the actual alert so your phone will directly tell you what happens. All right, we're in, boys. We're gonna let this go through London session. It's gonna be a while. So I appreciate everybody joining. Thank you for watching, for the analysis and everything. As always, here to help. And we're gonna end this stream how we always do. Appreciate you guys. Hope everybody has a great night. We're going to hold this through London session and see how it goes, okay? See you, Adam, David, TJ, Emmanuel. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning. New York session, 9:30 a.m. I will keep you guys posted in Discord about what happens with this trade. Have a good night, guys.